At midnight, his Apple Watch reported nearly 500 calories burned. While he claimed he was sleeping alone, he got the Apple Watch to track his health. I was the one who ordered it, picked the band, chose the color. I even set up his iCloud for him because, in his words, I'm not good with tech stuff. Funny how that same watch meant to help him live longer ended up shortening our marriage. One night, I woke up around 2 a.m. He wasn't home. Said he had to cover a last-minute night shift. I grabbed the iPad to check work emails, and a fitness notification popped up. Unusual physical activity detected. 478 calories burned, 1:52 a.m. to 2:35 a.m. I frowned. He doesn't exercise, especially not after midnight. I opened the heart rate data. It spiked from 69 BPM to 140 BPM and stayed there for over half an hour. He wasn't lifting weights. He wasn't out for a run. He wasn't alone. That night sparked something. I started watching the patterns. Every time he said he was working late, the Apple Watch lit up like a guilty conscience. Hundreds of calories burned, heart racing. Then, like clockwork, everything flatlined back to normal, like nothing ever happened. When I confronted him, he laughed awkwardly and muttered, "Must be a glitch in the watch." What he didn't know was that I had synced all the data to I had screenshots, dates, times, BPM graphs, a digital archive of betrayal. In the end, I didn't scream, didn't throw anything. I simply handed him the stats and said, "I don't need your confession. I just want my time back. The years I spent loving someone who wasn't really there." Story 5. The pet cam didn't just catch the dog. I only wanted to check if my puppy was behaving. What I saw was a strange woman sitting in my spot on the couch. When we adopted our first puppy, I was a nervous wreck. It was the first time I had to leave him home alone for the whole day, so I installed a smart pet camera that let me check in from my phone. At first, it was all very innocent puppy naps, a little tail wagging, the usual. Until one day, I had to leave the house earlier than usual for work. During lunch, I casually opened the camera app and nearly dropped my phone. A woman I had never seen before walked into my house. She had a key. She moved like she knew the place. Straight to the kitchen, poured herself a drink, and then made herself comfortable on the exact couch where I curl up every night. 5 minutes later, my husband appeared on camera. He wrapped his arms around her, kissed her neck. They laughed, relaxed, as if this was their home, as if I had never existed. I was shaking so hard, I almost dropped my lunch. No one tells you exactly how heartbreak hits. I always imagined I'd scream, throw things, maybe even slap someone. Instead, I just sat there, silent, like someone had quietly unplugged my soul. That night, I didn't yell. I didn't even ask questions. I just placed the pet cam on the table and pressed play. There was nothing left for him to deny. The footage didn't just capture betrayal. It revealed a whole parallel life one, where I was nothing but background noise. I moved out a month later. Took the dog with me. He was the only one in that house who hadn't lied. Story 6. Baby's message, and Siri spoke for me. I didn't have to ask him. Siri already did it for me. I was sitting in the living room, working on my weekend report. He was on the other end of the couch, eyes glued to his phone. Silence hung in the air until Siri's voice suddenly rang out from my iPad, charging quietly nearby. From baby. I miss you so much. I still feel your kiss on my neck. For a moment, I forgot how to breathe. He looked up, eyes wide, caught. I didn't ask. I didn't need to. The iPad was still logged into his iCloud. He had borrowed it once to check his work email. Forgot to log out. And Siri, sweet digital snitch that she is, read the message aloud at the exact wrong moment. Or perhaps the exact right one. He stammered. It's not what you think. Ah, yes. The greatest hits of infidelity, track 1. I didn't scream. Didn't throw things. I just stood up, looked him in the eye, and calmly echoed his words only colder. It's not what you think either. Then I walked out. No drama, no tears, because pain doesn't need to be loud to be real. Story 7. The florist who exposed my husband. I paid for the truth, and it was worth every penny. I suspected my husband was cheating, but I had no proof. He was too careful, too kind. His schedule? Flawless. Work in the morning, home by dinner, weekend sports, like clockwork. But a woman's intuition, that doesn't lie. So, I hired an actress disguised as a florist every day, from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. She stood outside his office, watching, taking notes, snapping photos. For 10 days, nothing. And then, day 11. She messaged me. He held hands with a young woman. They walked casually into a hotel 3 blocks away. No hesitation, no shame. Then she sent the photo. Clear as daylight, his face turned to the side, arm around her waist. The girl, someone who once called me Big Sis at a company party. When I showed him the photo, he stared at it in silence for a long time, then finally asked, "You were spying on me?" I looked him dead in the eye. No. I just needed to know if I was living in something real. No more screaming, no more slapping, no dramatic confrontations. We simply ended, like a door closing softly, and the sound of a lock turning on everything we used to be. Story 8. A Facebook post that broke my family. He forgot some people on his friends list are still my friends too. I was in Dalat on a solo treat, trying to breathe after weeks of burnout. My husband said he'd stay home, look after our child, rest, and not go anywhere. That afternoon, I was sipping coffee at a small cafe when my best friend messaged me. "Hey, check your husband's Facebook. He just posted a photo with someone." Interesting. I opened the app. He'd tagged himself at a bar, smiling in a selfie, his arm wrapped tightly around a young woman. Red lips, dyed hair, flirty eyes. The kind of photo that says, "My wife doesn't exist." She wasn't on my friend list, but we had 3 mutual friends. He forgot that people still watch not out of gossip, but because they care about me. I didn't comment, didn't text. I simply saved the post. A week later, I returned home and showed him the screenshot. He laughed nervously. "She's just a friend." "It's nothing." I nodded. "Right, I'm just your wife." Nothing. 2 months later, we quietly divorced. No shouting, no court battles, just a man packing his things in silence, and a woman who finally understood that sometimes it only takes one click to realize exactly where you stand in someone's heart. Story 13. The dashcam caught a scene that shouldn't exist. I just wanted to clear space on the dash. Instead, I found proof that he once held someone else right in the seat I always sit in. We had just come back from a family trip. I stayed at my mother's for a few days to care for her after surgery. He said he'd take the car in for a quick check. Something felt off with the engine. 3 days later, I borrowed the car for work. While waiting at the parking garage, I opened the dashcam files to clear some memory. It records automatically, and it fills up fast. The first few clips were normal. He was driving alone at night, music playing softly in the background. But then, the camera angle shifted. It now showed the inside of the car. And suddenly, she appeared in the passenger seat. She wasn't me. Longer hair, white jacket, sweet voice that sent chills down my spine. "Your wife's probably suspicious, huh?" "Nah. She trusts me completely." "Don't worry." Laughs. "Then, kiss me." And he did. Right there, in the very seat where I sit every time we travel as a family. He touched her hair gently. The same gesture I once thought was only mine. In that moment, I couldn't even tell what hurt more, his betrayal or the realization that I had spent so long living inside the illusion of a good husband. I saved the clip, cut it right at the second he leaned in. That evening, I didn't scream. I didn't throw accusations. I simply played the video. During dinner, OTT, the table, with nothing but the sound of betrayal echoing from the dashcam speaker. He froze. His spoon dropped into the bowl. I didn't even look at him. I just said quietly, "You gave my seat to someone else, and I'm not taking it back." He cried. He apologized. He promised. But I was tired of counting the times my trust was shredded while still pretending to be strong. Dashcams are meant to capture journeys. I just didn't know one stretch of road would be the sharp turn that ended my marriage.